It's Picture Awards 2024, the Pan-African benchmark for creative excellence. This year, we are honoring work in 8 categories: channel, craft, culture, digital, effectiveness, entertainment, good, and heritage. We will only show good and Grand Prix winners in this presentation. Visit picturefestival.com to see all the great works that the judges have recognized with the shortlist, bronze and silver awards. Meet the channel jury.
Something which really caught my attention was, maybe I would say it was accidentally entered into channel category, supposed to be maybe picture for good, so to say. There are definitely some good pieces of work that were done, and definitely when the announcement or the results are, revealed, you'll see them trending at the top with either gold and Grand Prix. So I may not want to speak about them over here, but I think the one which I would want to mention is which caught most of the jury members' attention was, from a government related thing which was done with respect to passive smoking. The harm or the effect or the bad effect of maybe passive smoking on the ones who are possibly inhaling the fumes or the smokes and so on and so forth from the people who are smoking. I particularly like because the big idea which was crafted, which was don't burn their future. Stood out very well, and then how they went into executing those elements of to-dos definitely had a beautiful story, which I always like to have, which is the beginning, the middle, and the end. So that's really how it triggered the power of 3 delivery, so to say, from that submission. So that basically got our attention.
These entries have won gold. Gold in Excellence in Media Execution for Nivea Radiant and Beauty by Cadbury Nigeria for Bed Stuff. This material has won 4 additional gold pictures in Excellence in Media Planning, Use of Insights and Strategy, Use of Integrated Media, and Use of Media.
The Radiant and Beauty range was created to officially launch Advanced Care and Even Glow as products for choice to help treat key skin concerns like dry, ashy skin, stretch marks, uneven skin tone, discoloration, and dark spots. The campaign ran from April to July 2023 with Nigeria as its primary market. The challenge: Nivea's research showed that melanin-rich skin tones experience skin concerns that deserves unique skincare solutions. The campaign was developed to launch and portray the new body lotions as the solution to these skin concerns, hence the need for an effective media campaign. Insight and strategy. We learned that 80% of Nigerian women over 18 years are conscious of their skin and what is applied on it. Interestingly, 72% of them are willing to try new brands, while 62% will share information and recommendations about a new brand. We also discovered that over 70% of women are likely to stick to a brand that enhances their appearance, and 67% currently use Nivea. Following the insight, Nivea started a strategic campaign teamed for Your Shade of Beautiful. To drive this home via media, our strategy was to build consumers' knowledge and education through online and offline campaign activities and awake the thirst to know and explore. Execution. We splitted our campaign into 3 phases: the tease phase, the launch phase, and the sustenance phase. For the tease phase, we decided to partner with different on-air radio personalities for a 15-minute segment sponsorship of their contents in all 6 commercial cities of the brand for 2 weeks. In collaboration with our Dentsu Creative Agency, we created a concept called Something Big is Coming. The creative expression was about different shades of skin colors displayed as bottles called For Your Shade of Beautiful, on do in different routes in key commercial cities, including Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, and Port Harcourt, all to build consumers' interest. For the launch phase, the product was officially unveiled at an African-themed event tagged For Your Shade of Beautiful, gathering consumers, Nivea influencers led by Beverly Naya and Linda Ejiofor, celebrities, and members of the press. More so, we displayed our brand messages consistently on static who sites to deepen penetration. We explored and tested Nivea's precision marketing approach, one of which includes 10 seconds animated display on the product on Nivea official store on Jumia. For the sustenance stage, we kept the momentum going by maintaining brand reach with media activity across key media channels, both offline and online. Partnered with Z-World to sponsor their title Go Down from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. daily, based on our analyzed 62% reach and affinity index with women above 18. The results: we surpassed overall reach KPI for ATL Media by 6%, exceeded digital marketing reach by 56%, and engagement by 252%. 200% increase in brand love in 6 months of campaign. 3 billion naira sales value within the first 6 months of the campaign. 1.2 million units sold in 6 months. Our campaign amplified every marketing touchpoint activation to the good of the brand.
Gold in use of insight and strategy for Dentsu. Night Vision Ad Tech by Dentsu South Africa.
South Africa is facing an energy crisis, and it is getting darker every quarter.
There's no doubt that load shedding is very disruptive, and it means that South Africans have to plan their lives carefully around Eskom's schedules.
Load shedding has a significant effect on the channels in which we communicate. TV audiences, for example, are affected by up to 25%. A key issue for marketing professionals is therefore understanding how to adjust the current channel mix design to potentially mitigate the negative effect that load shedding has and ensure that campaign objectives are still met. A key element to consider is the spontaneity of the load shedding schedule. People are essentially shifting their viewership patterns by area every few hours. A consideration is, can I shift my investment in real time as the schedules change? This formed the backbone of our proprietary load-shedding media solution, Night Vision, built on a simple insight. When the power goes out, most of us reach for our phones as a source of entertainment due to the limited alternative options like TV. Through the use of real-time location data, load-shedding schedules, and audience data, we developed a proprietary data solution to ensure campaign performance wouldn't be as severely affected. Night Vision identifies dark zones and upweights media touchpoints not as impacted by load shedding in real time. Night Vision is a global media first and helps to solve a unique South African media challenge, taking advantage of high attention moments and devices during an otherwise problematic scenario. Lights out, phones up, solar power solutions search.
Gold in use of insights and strategy for Don't Bond Your Future by Extreme Marketing Ideas for FCCPC. This material has also won a second gold in use of media.
A third of children under 5 years old who die from secondhand smoke inhalation are from sub-Saharan Africa. And in Nigeria, even with our extensive anti-smoking laws, sales of cigarettes to minors and smoking around kids continues to thrive. To make it worse, the victims can't do anything about it, while the perpetrators continue to endanger their future one puff at a time. At FCCPC, Nigeria's Consumer Protection Commission, we had one question burning through our mind. How do we ensure our future generations aren't affected by the actions of our older generations? FCCPC presents Don't Burn Their Future. This idea started with a thought-provoking TV commercial that showed children's dreams going up in smoke. A nationwide campaign on radio, digital, press, and out of home that included Nigeria's first burning billboard. And to add fuel to the fire, we leveraged the power of Nollywood, arguably Nigeria's biggest export to the world, by releasing a 26-episode telenovela with a storyline that dramatizes the dangers of smoking around children. Not only did the series capture the hearts of Nigerians, with millions tuning in daily from around the country, the hashtag Don't Burn Their Future became one of the top trending topics on X, with the campaign garnering over 26 million impressions in the first 6 weeks post-launch. And this is just the beginning of our fight to give Nigerian children a fairer start in life.
Gold in use of integrated media for Let's Go 5G by PhD Media for MTN.
MTN embarked on a pioneering campaign to launch 5G technology in Nigeria to provide consumers with a compelling reason rooted in a superior user experience. In the Nigerian context, the introduction of cutting-edge technologies like 5G may evoke skepticism or fear among certain segments of society. Our insight led us to craft a campaign that would inform and educate, showing that 5G is not to be feared but embraced as a tool for progress. We found a sweet spot between communication and experience. Our execution focused on unique formats like 3D billboards and die cut. Choosing self-adhesive vinyl material over conventional flex material, eliminating reprinting costs during severe weather conditions, creating sustainability of our execution. A total of 5G users on the MTN network grew by over 850% during the period. Our special SAV lamp poles delivered a remarkable 25% cost saving on reprints.
Gold in use of integrated media for Jameson Distillery on Tour, J-Dot, media campaign by Grand Prix Media Nigeria for Pernod Ricard Nigeria. Gold in use of media for Make It MasterCard, outbound cross-border and low-cost acceptance by Karat Nigeria for MasterCard. Grand Prix in the use of media. Reclaim Your DNA by Dentsu Creative Nigeria for AB InBev and Trophy Extra Special Stouts.
They're having a major debate about what to do with all the art that they borrowed permanently by force from Africa.
I think that they properly reside in the British Museum.
Trophy Stout presents Reclaim Your DNA, reconnecting Nigerians with their stolen heritage and creating a movement to claim them back from the museums that refuse to return them. Trophy Stout is 100% homegrown with a proud tradition of celebrating Nigerian culture. Because we don't have access to our stolen heritage, we turned every Trophy Stout touchpoint into an access point. We created a digital experience to match any museum. Users could learn the history of the Benin Bronzes, explore contemporary Nigerian art inspired by the originals, and download 3D versions. Then we hit the streets of Nigeria. And our message was everywhere. A museum that was free and open to everyone. Hundreds of thousands of Nigerians put their faces to the cause by tagging museums around the world.
Then for centuries, we can still keep them safe. Give them back.
Nigerian media took up the cause.
Reclaim Your DNA. The campaign is focused on recovering artifacts that were forcefully taken from Nigeria.
Hopes to connect Nigerians to their past and help them own their future.
And the rest of the world joined in. But most importantly, we saw our national treasures beginning to come home.
Now, 2 Benin bronzes were returned to their traditional palace in Nigeria on Saturday, more than a century after they were pillaged by British troops.
Let's now move to crafts. Meet the jury.
Hi there, I'm Mike Miller, the Executive Creative Director of Extreme Ideas, based here in Lagos, Nigeria. I was delighted to be the jury president for the craft category, which looked at craft in audio, film, digital, social and print advertising. I was hoping there'd be a lot more work, in particular craft categories like long copy or typography, but there wasn't. It seems as though craft has got a little left behind in the rush to get work out. We also noticed with a few entries that the entry materials that were entered didn't match the category they were entered into, so it was actually a bit of a waste, especially when the work could have gone on to win awards. So there's a huge opportunity going forward. I think next year, if your work looks good, it's crafted well, just enter it into the craft categories because there's a huge opportunity to win more awards. That said, congratulations to all the winners. The work that did win got unanimous praise from all the jury members. I think our deliberations were probably the shortest of any jury because we all agreed, we're all on the same page on the good work, and I think it shows from the work that came through and won. Thanks to everyone who did enter, thanks to the other jury members, and thanks to the pictures team for such a smooth process. And congratulations to all the winners.
We have a gold in audio craft for copywriting for The Bar Is Set, Kilmani Years Later by EABL Digitribe, Ogilvy Africa Kenya for The Bar.
4 million years ago, in the wilderness of Kilimani, are the last remains of a party. Archaeologists digging through the debris find what promised to be a bash for days. But instead, what they find are gaping mouths, thirsty, parched throats, eyes looking into the distant horizon, yearning. The music must have popped, but they must have wished it was bottles popping. In their dry, crusty hands are the famous ancient artifacts, best known as tumblers. Empty, like their dreams of a lit night. What started as a simple drinks order turned into infinite anguish as they waited. Today, scientists wonder why they never ordered from ke.thebar.com, the EABL site that is scientifically proven to deliver your drinks in minutes, wherever you are in Kenya. Like they said it best, the bar is set.
Filmcraft Gold goes to Home is Where It Happens by Dentsu Creative Nigeria for Netflix.
Christmas was a time of joy and celebration, felt somber and uncertain in 2023. The festive season was clouded by insecurity and economic hardships. Nigerians needed a means of escape, a distraction from their current realities that could help them distress. To launch this campaign, we teased the audience with a red couch to signify the chair, bed, or even floor in their homes. The couch became the focal point of our communication, creating a metaphorical connection between Netflix and its audience, serving as a device with which they escape their realities into a world of endless entertainment. This campaign deepened the brand equity and love as it provided a means for Nigerians to live in our titles straight from the red couch. And best of all, Netflix became a source of escape for millions of Nigerians.
There's a Grand Prix in digital, mobile and social crafts.
In the craft category, we did award one Grand Prix. It was for the Cadbury's African Stories campaign. This work stood out not only for being a cracking idea based on a solid insight, bringing parents and children back together for story time, but it was impeccably crafted and the bold user experience got great results. The fact that it was a future-focused area of advertising that we regularly see from overseas, it was great to see that this was coming from Africa, and I think it would do well internationally. Personally, when it comes to judging work, it's a case of, do I wish I'd done this? And in this case, it was a yes. So congratulations to the winners. Well done on the Grand Prix.
Give a generous voice to Storytime by Dentsu Kenya for Cadbury.
I started this journey about 3 years ago, and I traveled to various small villages to look for East African folktales, and nearly everywhere I went, people had no recollection of their own stories.
Our pasts are important to me, our histories are important to me. They connect us to our memories, our ancestry, and they guide us.
We are distracted, we are engrossed in our everyday lives. We're not having enough family time.
A long time ago, there was a boy called Kamau. Kamau was a very stubborn boy who did not obey his parents.
Cadbury gives a generous voice to a story time.
You can scan the code and then upload your stories or listen to other people's stories.
The culture category is new for 2024 and honors excellence in areas such as reputation management, internal culture, lobbying, and PR. Let's welcome the jury.
My name is Tabiseng Lekwaletu and I'm from South Africa. I had the pleasure to actually be the jury president for the 2024 Picture Festival Creative Awards this year. I want to take you through our journey as a jury members in terms of the categories that we actually judged and give you a little bit of an insight of how we selected the winning awards and campaigns. And I'll start off by actually introducing you the subcategories that we actually judged for this year. The first category we looked at was the corporate image and reputation management, which really focus on how do you ensure that your brand is being represented well to your consumers and how it resonates with them. Our second subcategory was excellence in PR and public affairs. Again, how do you rally the people and ensure your PR touch points are really landing your brand with the consumers that you're dealing with. Our third one was really looking at internal culture and employee engagement. Here we really looked at how does your brand look at how to engage your internal employees. How do you launch your internal launch campaigns? How do you ensure that your employees also align with the values and the culture of your brand? Our fourth subcategory was the media relations and brand storytelling. What we really looked for here was how do you utilize the media touchpoints and really tell the brand story while using innovative ways in engaging with the consumers. Our fifth one was looking at cultural insights. I think this is one of the key ones, where you're looking at multicultural insights within your market and ensuring the brand does not only engage with the consumers, how does it drive an impact and purpose-driven campaign for the consumers that you're engaging with? Our last one, which is the sixth one, which how do you utilize your influencers and your brand ambassadors? Again, I know a lot of people would want to use multiple influencers and brand ambassadors, but what's important here is really finding the right influencers and brand ambassadors that not only engage with a brand naturally, but also are able to naturally engage authentically with your consumers. What I really wanted to end with is saying thank you so much to the jury members that really took the time to judge the 42 entries that we looked at, and really congratulate all the entries that entered the 2024 Picture Creative Festival Awards. I want to end off again with the last bit, the 5 nuggets that I really want to share with everyone when you enter the awards next year. Number one for me is really key is look at the brief, look at the categories that you really want to enter. Before you start your project or campaign, look at what you really want to enter. Then you can really define the journey of what you want to capture. Number two is really ensuring that your brief is clear to yourself and your creative teams. Partner and collaborate with your brand teams to ensure that you're not only achieving the business objectives that you need to align with when it comes to the results. Number three, really have so much fun with how you do the campaigns. Number four for me is really important, is really driving purpose-driven campaigns that really impact the communities and consumers that really engage with your brand and really consume the products that you're selling forward. And last and least, which is number 5, is really creativity really has the power to change the world that we live in, and it really has the power to engage multinational people, and not only in Africa. And I really thank Picture Festival for creating these kind of platforms and for the support and collaboration from our clients and agencies that come together and bring up all these amazing campaigns that we looked at this year.
The Culture Jury has awarded a gold in use of cultural insights to give a generous voice to Storytime by Dentsu Kenya for Cadbury. A second gold in use of cultural insight goes to Wazi, A Space for You by Shape History, United Kingdom for Girl Effect.
Sexual health isn't sexy. It's dry, clinical, and tough to talk about, especially for young Kenyans. Here, stigmas and cultural norms make it more than awkward. They make it dangerous. Young people need access to accurate information and support for their safety, their rights, and their futures. We need a space to talk about sex, bila shame. So we created it. Working with young people like me in Nairobi and Migori, Girl Effect built a chatbot especially for us to answer our questions and direct us to health services. But Wazi is more than a bot. It's a catalyst for change, transforming the local approach to sexual health so we can talk about it openly. With the help of our cool co-creation team, we made a relatable brand that reflected our personality, culture, and lingo. We called it Wazi, an intentional misspelling of Swahili slang for cool or open. Through social media, radio campaigns, and community activations, we created a trusted space to connect, learn, and get support. And with all the knowledge of a health service, with zero shame, Wazi is breaking down barriers. The pilot phase was huge. The impact? Now, Wazi users understand sexual health better, which means better healthcare, better outcomes, and a better space for young people.
Wazi, ni space yako.
Wazi.
Grand Prix in the use of cultural insights. Reclaim Your DNA by Dentsu Creative for AB InBev Trophy Extra Special Stouts. Now to the digital category. Meet the jury.
Good afternoon from Rio de Janeiro. I'm Kirsten. I'm one of the founders and CEO of Out There Media, and I had the honor to be the president of the digital jury of the Picture Awards 2024 for the second time in a row. It was an amazing experience with incredible quality of work, brilliant ideas and fantastic executions. I'm also extremely proud to have the best jury members, the best jury one could have wished for. They were Uduak from Nigeria, Toyin from Nigeria, Lin from Kenya, Frank from Uganda, Boomsha from Nigeria, as well as Lord from Ghana. And we had a fantastic time. We got together twice, 3 hours each, so 6 hours of lively, engaging, inspiring debates and judging. And we were judging 34 pieces of work in the following categories. It was the integrated digital category, messaging category, social media category, as well as websites and microsites. I want to thank my jury members for the great time, for the brilliant ideas. I want to thank the organizers for putting together yet another brilliant picture award show. But most importantly, I want to thank the agencies and the brilliant brains and creators of the African markets for submitting such amazing work. And I want to encourage everyone to continue to do so. We have only just begun. Overall, in terms of tips and tricks, well, the most important thing is the submission material, because the jury are people. 6 people, 7 people, 8 people, 9 people in a room that will decide. So it's incredibly important to have a good case video, and it's also incredibly important to submit the results. Sometimes when the submission or when the material is incomplete, the jury might think that, for example, if results were not submitted, the jury might think that the results were not good, but it could have just been an oversight. So the most important thing is to have that submission material together, because that's the only way that the jury can decide in that jury room.
Golden Integrated Digital Campaign for Reclaim Your DNA by Dentsu Creative Nigeria for AB InBev and Trophy Extra Special Stout. Second gold in social media campaign goes to AFCON by Extreme Marketing Ideas, Lagos for MultiChoice.
How did we go from this to this in the space of just 2 weeks? Welcome to the DSTV AFCON campaign, where we made a whole nation celebrate like they just won the biggest African tournament, even though they didn't. Let's take it from the start. DSTV is famed for televising all the biggest sporting events Nigerians love. But just a few days to AFCON, the country wasn't sure DSTV would broadcast the tournament, leading to some fan backlash. But with a dying minute screamer, DSTV secured the rights just a day before the games began, and the magic started. First, we noticed most African nations participating in the tournament were nicknamed after animals. This gave us a huge opportunity to do a unique banter campaign based on the dynamics of the animal kingdom. But as DSTV Nigeria, we threw our full support behind the Eagles. As the games progressed, we created several memeable materials that got the attention of the nation. And with every single game, we elevated our banter some more, dedicating an always-on team to provide pre-game, in-game, and post-game banter materials that always send social media wild. Once Nigeria secured her spot in the final, we elevated the banter even more by spoofing one of the most nostalgic films ever made, Snake in the Monkey Shadow. But this time, it was Elephant in the Eagle's Shadow. And it came with a trailer, recap videos, character cards, and all the works. And even though Nigeria lost the final, our bands ensured the loss wasn't so hard on Nigerians. Results? It was a goal all round. how's that for a comeback?
We also have a Grand Prix this year in the digital jury. I will not tell you who it is. You will see in a few minutes. A very well-deserved Grand Prix. Thank you all and congratulations.
Grand Prix in websites, microsites and web services goes to Give a Generous Voice to Storytime by Cadbury's. Now we are going to entertainment. Let us meet the jury.
My name is Femi Odubemi, Jury President of the Entertainment category of the 2024 Pictures Awards. Our very distinguished team of creative leaders from across Africa includes Yusuf Adejumo, Max Ngari, Yabo Ateng, Kwame Kai Yamua, and Jesu Joba Bukwola. I am very pleased to report that our jury meticulously evaluated each entry, benchmarking them against best practices in storytelling, innovation, and technical execution. We aimed to reward flair, particularly in the use of vital emotional connectors in entertainment, such as humor, rhythm, music, color, and design, especially in performance and characterization, the very elements that truly foster viewer engagement. We all were very satisfied that the entries we have awarded are exciting and deserving. While we scored strictly, there was a unanimous consensus among the jury members that our selections for gold, silver, and bronze were fair. So congratulations to all the winners. Participating in the Pictures Award has been a personal honor, allowing us all to celebrate Africa's storytellers and the remarkable work that they do for African brands. I extend my gratitude to the organizers and my esteemed colleagues on the jury. May we all be inspired to continue growing and striving for our best potential. Thank you.
The entertainment jury has awarded one gold in entertainment film to Suit City, the documentary It's Breathtaking by Extreme Ideas Nigeria for Extra Step Initiative.
Everybody living in Rivers State is a working corpse. Don't be threatened. I'm not exaggerating. This is the truth. Well, scientifically, soot is hydrocarbon particulate soot. So when you have combustion and it doesn't burn off completely, the tiny residue is what we refer to as soot.
And this is a fallout of the failure of environmental governance in the Niger Delta.
Early hours in the morning, it started descending down. You see, experience black things on your vehicle.
One of the substances that has been found in soot is called benzene, and benzene has been classified as carcinogenic.
The oil companies have been operating in the Niger Delta, carrying out their mindless and reckless extraction for the last 64 years.
Where in civilized society are you seeing gases being fled?
So because of this massive involvement of people in industry, that was how the state became a den of crude oil crocodiles.
Niger Delta State actually has the highest number of unemployed youths.
The University governor's response was more like lukewarm. Only God will help us.
We have crude oil that we export, and then we now import refined products. It doesn't make sense. And the boys are doing what government have failed to do, and you want to stop them.
Working on a bunker site is something that you use to help the family. Maybe if government come in, there's a better way, even the suit will not even affect. But no one's scared to know what is going on. Why will young men and women of the Niger Delta choose to get incinerated to death? So we need to ask, is there a nexus between unemployment, poverty, and oil theft?
The second entertainment gold in music video goes to Nanal Ndox Karen by Makan, Dakar, Senegal for Abu Diop's group Keren. The entertainment jury has given a third goal to the same campaign in the use of music.
maras sa xol di mbalax ku ci wax ba sa put wow ndox be lay falax
xale bi sangala yangala yang xëcc bu tey bi di naan see bi nga soppi ka bàyyi woo dara
tik tok toko toko ndox bi mooy tokk xale bi laaj joko joko
ay naan ko rek ñoom bi ñuy kaas naan ki ren
ndaanaan du xëccoo ndànk rek
Can you understand now?
Ket kelentaan kii kenn du ko daan li kaala kay bokk si ay
Ket kelentaan kii ren lañuy naan yaa ngi cool li kaala kay bokk si
kàngam kàng fori kaa bi tax ñëpp naan king kii cool na moo njëkk fi
Ket kelentaan kii ren lañuy naan yaa ngi cool li kaala kay bokk si
Moving on to the good category. This category honors excellence in work-for-profit and non-profit organizations that are dedicated to promoting social good. Meet the jury.
I'd like to congratulate all those who are going to receive awards this evening or this afternoon. Myself and the jurors for the good and effectiveness categories would like to give the following feedback. There were a number of awards that of entries that actually didn't meet the criteria for this particular category, and so we'd really encourage those of you to next year to consider really look at what the category is looking for and to make sure that your entry addresses those particular issues. So, you know, good and effectiveness are all about impact. So please be very clear in your entry what impact you are making and have made with your campaign. And here we're not really looking for marketing metrics as a indication of impact. Here we're really looking for the kind of impact that has been had on either the business, if it's for the business categories, or if it's for social impact, we're looking for the impact that you've had on a particular societal issue. We'd also encourage you to highlight what that societal issue is. We were very impressed with entries that came from the diversity of the entries, and we'd really encourage those to increase that in the years to come. But again, one of the big pieces of feedback we'd like to give is that we're looking for cultural context. Remember, as jurors, we're not always in your community, so please take some time to explain why this particular campaign is important in your particular cultural context. So I think those are the two biggest pieces of feedback I'd like to give entrants. And again, just want to wish all of those who've won an awards congratulations.
This year, the jury has given 1 gold pitcher to Sales of Change by Dentsu Kenya for MasterCard.
Lamu is the oldest island in East Africa with a long tradition of oceanic travel. Since the 1300s, the local community has conducted transoceanic travel on the back of the ever-dependable dhow, whilst providing charming adventures for tourists. In the past few years, COVID-19, followed by a global economic downturn, condemned thousands of sailors to a life of poverty as tourist traffic disappeared. This year, gradual uptick in tourism brought some optimism to the community. However, broken and battered boats couldn't cope, and with dhows costing up to $20,000, the sailors were caught in a financial headwind. MasterCard, the global payments provider and the enabler of priceless travel experiences, decided to do something about it, presenting Sales of Change, a back-end sales force powering the priceless return of East Africa's island travel by offering the sailors an opportunity to rehabilitate, maintain, profit from and financially own the dhow through one simple act: branding the sails. What seemed like a simple advertising feat was actually a flywheel of sustainable impact. It started off by commissioning local craftsmen to produce and design the sails. They also upgraded the dhow cabins with comfortable upholstery. Once sails were installed, tourist demand was generated from an always-on marketing campaign that pushed the initiative. Dhow operators were provided with business training to help cope with this demand. Tourists who'd come in would enjoy a discount whenever they used their cards to pay for the dhow ride. In addition to boat ride sales, sailors also enjoyed income from advertising revenue every month, which went a long way in helping the sailors start owning the dhows. MasterCard's priceless solution was giving priceless reprieve to thousands, giving travelers an Instagrammable backdrop and the coastal communities of Kenya a much-needed lifeline. Sales of Change. Now that's priceless.
The effectiveness category is new for 2024 and celebrates the measurable impact of creating work in business or society. In the first year of the effectiveness category, the jury has given out 3 Gold Pitcher Awards. Gold Pitcher for Business Impact. Castle Lager Bread of the Nation by Dentsu South Africa for Castle Lager.
South Africans are starving.
About 12.8 million people in South Africa have gone to bed hungry this week alone.
Brands that have our scale have an immense responsibility to do work that positively impacts the communities in which we operate. After the process of lautering, we're left with all the spent grain.
So what we were able to develop is a recipe capturing the spent grain from the brewing process and turning it into a flour.
We now know that the ingredients are of such a high quality that they can be repurposed for a food product like bread.
Bread of the nation.
Bread of the nation. Bread of the nation.
Food has a direct impact on people's productivity. This is why initiatives like this are very important to actually bring more nutritious breads into the communities.
By partnering with SA Harvest, we're able to make this a truly national initiative.
We are working together with breweries to stave off that feeling of hunger.
So by leveraging their footprint and their existing feeding schemes, we can reach every corner of the country.
In 2022, we delivered just over 20 million meals.
I ate it when I was dancing, when I was eating it. I said, this bread is so nice.
I feel like this conversation is really going to get your attention. Very soon, the bread that you and I eat will be made from the byproducts of the ingredients used to make beer.
Castle Lager, together with SA Harvest, launched their first of its kind Bread of the Nation.
Bread of the nation. Bread of the nation.
Bread of the nation. Bread of the nation.
Bread of the nation. The answer as to why this type of initiative is important, I think, is fairly obvious.
Gold Pitcher for Business Impact. Reclaim Your DNA by Dentsu Creative Nigeria for AB InBev Trophy Extra Special Stouts. We saw this campaign earlier in good category, so we move on to Gold Pitcher number 3 for Business Impact. Wazi, A Space for You by Shape History. United Kingdom for Girl Effects. Now, for the final category of awards for this year, recognizing creative excellence is still thriving areas of traditional media, let's welcome the Heritage Jury.
Hi, my name is Emeron Alemu, founder and chief creative officer at The Collective in Nairobi, Kenya, and also the jury president of the Heritage Jury at the Picture Festivals 2024. Allow me to start by congratulating all the winners. Thank you for inspiring. Thank you for doing amazing work. Thank you for putting your best foot forward, working as a team to set a benchmark of the standard that creativity should be. For those who did not win, you're not losers. You simply just didn't win this year. What that means is you'll have to put in a bit more work. You'll have to think a little differently. You'll have to spend a bit more time finessing and crafting, and next year, you too could be a winner, or even in the subsequent years. In the Heritage Jury, we saw a lot of interesting work, a lot of interesting case studies. Overall, we felt there was a marked improvement in the case studies that were tabled, that were put forward in the submissions. However, we still feel there's significant room for improvement. There were a lot of people who had brilliant ideas, but did not go the extra mile to showcase in their case study the brilliance of their thinking, the brilliance of the execution. It is our request that moving forward, when you have a great idea, do your idea justice by selling it well to the audience that is going to be judging it. Work on the case studies, work on telling the story, work on getting to the point about what made your idea so disruptive, so different, so brilliant, and what the nuance was that actually informed your decision, the nuance or the insight that informed your decision to proceed with that idea and those executions. Once again, to everyone who's attending, to everyone who submitted your work, congratulations for having work to submit. To all those who won, amazing. You set the bar for everyone. You set the benchmarks, you put in the hours. And for those who didn't win, congratulations for your future wins. We look forward to seeing you win in the picture festivals that are yet to come. Thank you very much. Emron Alemu, your jury president, Heritage 2024, founder and chief creative officer at The Collective in Nairobi, Kenya.
The Heritage Jury has given 1 gold to Sales of Change by Dentsu Kenya for MasterCard. This material also won gold in the good category. Here are the special awards for 2024. Media Agency of the Year. The Media Agency of the Year is the media agency that garners the highest number of points in channel category. In the 3rd place is Media Reach OMD Ghana. In the 2nd place is Karat Nigeria. And the winner is BHD Nigeria. The Advertising Agency of the Year. This is the full-service agency with the highest cumulative points across all categories of the awards. In the 3rd place is Dentsu Kenya. In the 2nd place is Extreme Marketing Ideas Nigeria. And the winner is Dentsu Creative Nigeria. The Africa Media Agency Network of the Year honors participating media agency network who have scored the highest number of points in the channel category from at least 2 markets. In the 2nd place is OMD. And the winner is Karat. The Africa Advertising Agency Network of the Year is the full-service advertising agency network that has scored the highest points across all award categories. And the winner, Pitcher Awards 2024 Africa Advertising Agency Network of the Year is Dentsu. We have witnessed the best of African advertising and innovation on display here. To all the participants, thank you for fueling our imaginations. Keep pushing boundaries because the next big idea is just around the corner. Please visit pitcherfestival.com to see all the great works that won the shortlist, bronze, and silver awards. Congratulations to all the winners and see you in 2025.